Was this for Shawshank Redemption or something?
I don't think so. Oh, see? It's already trying to get me.
No,
I don't think so.
I think that was somewhere in Ohio.
Alright, so this is our East Cell House. This is where your Gen Pop inmates would be, so your boring ones, your arsonists, your burglars, your stuff like that would be in here. Also, if it was your first night and you got annexed to across the street, that was our annex. You were sent here until you found out where you were being sent. So this would be where your first nights would be, your first week. You'd spend it in this house. If you became permanent party, you were a lifer, you stayed in the West House. So this place, this cell house was loud. A lot of trading going down. Every morning they get 2 bags of coffee and 2 envelopes. And they trade that throughout the prison. Now they can also use a form of Morse code. So an inmate down here could speak to an inmate on the 8th gallery way up there through Morse code on the bars and the toilets. They flush the toilets and they tap it. And that would be Morse code, and they'd be able to speak to anybody in the cell house. Now the funny thing about this cell house is you can see in the West House they had that steel grate here. This one is a little bit more open. Now originally, this ceiling here was not always here. So you could see up to gallery 8. You can see all the way up there. Now to cut down on suicide rates, they added that flooring. That still didn't stop them. There'd be as many as 3 suicides a day reported by guards in this house alone. We have actually found suicide notes written on cells, in cells, stuff like that. And they would do it based off, every morning they'd open the cell doors for chow. They'd tie their overalls to the cell door and their neck would snap. It'd be pretty quick, pretty painless. Also, they would tie their bed sheets around their neck, and when they opened for chow, jump off the ledger. And this would be high enough for that, of course. So this prison was known as Hell on Earth. It was also known as the prison you'd rather get the death penalty over than coming here. So lawyers would actually plead for their client's death penalty over being sent here. It was that bad. Now, the Herald News once wrote an article about this prison explaining how the fumes from the prison would leak over the walls and kill the grass and leaves outside of it. So that's a little bit of a test to the kind of conditions that were in here. Now you guys can go all the way down there, all the way to the end. You guys have a couple minutes left, so if you want to take a gander.
Bunk beds and anything?
In this gallery, no.
These are the same size as the...
Yes, these are the same size.
Is there any larger cells or just the...
This is as large as it gets.
So 2 people in that for the rest of your life?
Yep.
They're temporary.
This is temporary. So you first get in.
They end up over there.
If they're lifers, they end up in the West House we were in earlier.
Isn't that solitary?
No, well, upstairs and on other galleries there are, it's like this. So that is the only wing that is solitary.
Oh my God. Well, even in this.
But even in this, the rest of your life will be great.
Yeah. Except a little more open air.
And 2 people per cell.
Yep, 2 people per cell. They would sleep with their head towards the sink because if not, it's very easy for someone to walk by and stab you. Also, they were always on high alert in here. Every morning, the guards would walk by with a flashlight and hit every bar to make sure they weren't sawn off. So,